Hey y'all, George Rose here, CEO of Volume Up, and what I wanted to do today was show you guys how I am actually improving my cold email outreach process using actually LangChain and OpenAI. So I'm using ChatGPT, GPT-4 basically, to be able to do the data enrichment and the lead enrichment that I would typically hire out on Fiverr. And so what I've done here is I created a program that'll take some details about the stakeholder I'm reaching out to, the company itself, right? And then it'll scrape the entirety of the company's website in order to be able to create a customized subject line and a customized first line. And so I'm going to be making some tweaks to this to make the customized subject line and first line also relate to the output that I'm doing. Right now, I know that personalization increases email open and response rate significantly because it looks like it's a lot more personalized and you actually took time to do it than just some random generic crap that you send out to everybody. And so what we can do here is I pulled this data from Apollo.io. I just used 10 leads and I hid any personal information like email, phone, all that sort of stuff because I didn't want to be sharing people's personal information online. But I have 10 leads here that I'm testing out the system for. And very simply what the system does is it pulls to make sure first that the company is a good fit. And I do that before doing any sort of scraping or large language model work because I'm going to save the cost there if they're not. And so the only ones I do run are not sure and good fit. If somebody's definitely not a good fit, like a supply house, right? I'm targeting roofing contractors. I want to make sure that we don't run that. So we'll skip over and you'll see that there's no first line or subject line for these. The only other case where there would not be a first line or subject line is if the website itself does not exist, right? So I tried visiting this one, the website can't be reached. So there's no way for us to be able to actually pull the data there, right? And so system, how it works is pretty simple, right? I built it out in LangChain. And so basically what it does is it comes in, right? I use a platform called Appify to be able to get these websites data. It does proxy setup, scraping, all that sort of stuff, so you don't have to worry about it. From there, what I do is I add some rows to my CSV for that data enrichment that didn't previously exist. Right, and then from there I'll go into the actual data enrichment process. And again, the only reason I'm doing this is to increase the response rates and open rates that I get on emails because they're hyper personalized based on whatever the company is doing. Right, so what happens is we come in, we'll actually pull the data for the website. There's a system template. First thing is there a lead qualifier, right? For Volume Up, I tell them what we do. Then from there, it's supposed to output whether they're a good fit and the reason, right? Not a good fit or not sure. And then if they're not a good fit, obviously we won't move forward with the rest of the scraping process, right? What it does from there is very simply, let's switch over to my drawing board and I'll show you. Okay, and so I have a Canva just flow chart to kind of show you what this process looks like. So first things first is I have my list of potential leads that I got from Apollo.io. And I'm thinking about doing another video on how I scrape leads from Apollo.io, if that's something people are interested in. But getting a lead list is something that's been around for quite a while, so I don't think it'll be too hard to find information on how to do that effectively. Now, once I have that, right, I then loop over that list of potential leads, right? And this is the process that each and every single lead goes through, but on an automated basis through AI automation, right, to be able to get the enrichment we need for our cold email efforts. So first things first, what I do is I determine if the lead's a good fit. If the lead is not a good fit, what I want to do is just skip to the next lead because we don't want to waste all the resources of scraping the websites, pushing that through the LLM, finding unique attributes on a company that's not a good fit anyway. That saves me a lot of time. I don't know about you guys, but when I do cold email, I'll get a lot of times it'll send out to roofing suppliers, which is just not relevant to what I'm looking for. However, if the lead is a good fit, it should say yes here. The first thing we do is we scrape that lead's website. So we get all the content on their website, from their blog to their about us page to their homepage, everything we can find on them on that website, we'll pull that. There's another step here where if there isn't a website, right, it'll just skip over as well because there's no purpose in trying to go through that. We'll still have the criteria on whether or not it's a fit, but instead of getting a personalized intro line, they'll just get a generic intro line. Once we scrape the lead's website, we get unique attributes of the company from the website. We combine that with the other metadata around the website and then have ChatGPT write an intro and subject line. And we're not doing any of this manually, right? It's not like we're copying and pasting this into ChatGPT. It's completely programmatic. So it goes through the entire CSV list and gives us an output like what I showed you in our Google Sheet. So none of this did I actually do manually myself. ChatGPT took all 10 of these leads and it ran through this exact workflow automatically. So I could do this with tens of thousands of leads, and that's actually what I plan to do. That's what I'm going to be doing for my next cold email campaign. I'm gonna slow down the pace here a bit because I just realized I was talking fast as hell. So with that, after we get the subject line and intro line, we split those up into 2 separate fields so they can be sent to the CSV. And then we output the enriched data to the CSV, right? So we'll output whether or not they're a good fit. We'll output whether, or the reason for whether or not they're a good fit as well, because I think that's helpful to have. And then we'll also output the subject line and the first line so that we can actually push those into our cold email software, whichever software you use. And then it'll be able to use those personalized subject lines and first lines instead of some generic stuff that nobody responds to. So that's how the system works, and that's how I was able to create some really cool outputs here. Like, let's just go through and see a few of them. White Castle Roofing, they have a free roof rescue program, which I think is really, really cool. And it's cool that the GPT pulled this out without me even saying anything. I just asked it what it thought was unique. And so create a subject line, building more than just roofs, a unique approach by White Castle Roofing. I think that's an interesting one. Definitely some things that can be changed here as far as the subject line goes. That's just a bit of a prompting change. I might just keep it like quick question for first name as well. Just figured I'd see what subject lines I created. But the first line is really good, right? So the stakeholder's first name is James. I was truly inspired to learn about White Castle Roofing's unique free roof rescue program. It's not every day that you come across a company that not only excels in their craft, but also makes such a profound impact on the community. Let's talk about how we can share this amazing story even further. And then I can dive into my offer. Mark, hey, I was amazed to see that Standard Roofing Company has been a cornerstone of Western Canada roofing in the industry for more than 6 decades. That's pretty cool. I think that's a unique thing. Hey, Curtis. I hope this email finds you well. I was recently admiring Stonewater Roofing's impressive status as a Master Elite contractor, a distinction only 3% of all roofing contractors can claim. It's quite an achievement. Hi, Samuel. Like, these are all very, very, very personalized. It's not like I can just magically know this and send this out to every single contractor. Right, so now these people are saying, okay, these guys actually took some time to research our site, and then it'll have a higher response rate because of that from the cold emails, because it shows that we're not just another marketer sending them spam to their inbox. So just think this is a really cool tool. This could be used outside the agency space as well. If you're a commercial roofing contractor and you're going to be reaching out to people who own commercial properties, a lot of these commercial property owners have mission statements on their website, all that sort of stuff, and what makes them unique. So you can do the same exact thing to create personalized outreach emails to them so you get a higher response rate from those people who own commercial properties. This can be used really in anything B2B, right? Where there's a website, you can go scrape data and then create this unique first line. So that's just kind of a walkthrough of what I built. I hope this was helpful for you guys. If you find it cool, let me know down in the comments. If you think it's dumb, let me know as well. I'll just cry for a little bit afterwards. Other than that, I'm gonna log off. Have a good one. Bye.